I found an old voicemail in an old phone not too long ago. Old phone, old voicemail, her voice. A voice that was upbeat yet apologized even before she started to say what she needed. One of those where all the sentences ended with a question mark at the end. And I sat there thinking, who is that? That's not an accent that I lost. That's not a face that I grew out of either. That was a person. That was a whole person. And she's gone. Not like gone as if she's gone because something went wrong, but gone because I am done. I'm no longer that. And here is what not too many people say about reinvention. We often look forward to that finished product as if I've arrived, a new me. I am super self-confident, self-assured, and I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm calling the shots. Well, for many of us, that new self often comes with a little sense of grieving, of missing who we used to be. And on this channel, we say that's okay. It feels more like we're still grieving, but with a little better lighting. Because we're not walking towards somebody new, we are walking away from somebody that was real. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Maria Martinez and this is the Inner Authority Project. Here on this channel, we talk about all things identity, reinvention, and inner authority for women over 50. And moreover, we created this channel so that we, women like you and me, have a place to find tools and resources where we can trust ourselves again and build that version of our lives where we don't require external validation. Now, if you recently watched my video on the SHE method, 7 steps to reinvention, I absolutely love that you're joining me because this one is about that space in between them. If you haven't watched the video, I invite you to go and check it out because I break down what those 7 steps to reinvention are all about. But because I put it in a framework, there were several aspects that I couldn't catch in there, and that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Because here's the thing, reinvention doesn't happen in a linear format. It doesn't happen in a straight line. Now, here's what I've noticed. There are certain gaps that happen to us. There are 3 specific gaps that I want to talk about on this video that refer to that place from where we used to be and where we are right now, and how those 2 things somewhat clash, creating a gap and giving us a lot of opportunity for introspection and for growth. So let's talk about those 3 gaps a little bit more in depth. The first gap is she performed, you are present. She performed, you are present. Now, what does that mean? That old version of her, of you and me, our friends, performed depending on the realm. Family dinner, no problem. Work function, no problem. Work event after hours, no problem. Boardroom scenario, no problem. Kids after hour events, we got it. Right? There was a role that we played in each of those functions and more, and we were prepped for it. That was her. Now you and I, we show up. We don't prep in advance. We don't anticipate what others are going to say or think or ask. We just show up. We're present. We don't pre-edit. We now feel that we are showing up the way that we're meant to. We show up the way we're supposed to, the way that feels natural to us, the way that is authentic. So that's the first gap, that woman used to perform based on the scenario, the circumstances, and this woman now, she shows up. She's fully present, aware, and authentic. Gap number 2, she waited for permission. You're building trust. I love the sound of that. She used to wait for permission, for validation, maybe from a spouse, from a partner, from a parent. We needed to wait until someone said that it was okay to move, that it was okay to proceed, as if we needed that validation. Now you're building trust. You're finding that sense of trust to back in yourself that knows you're right. You know what to say. You might be a little shy at first. You might not be used to speaking up, but you know exactly what it is. And you're starting to learn to check in with yourself first in a place that is quiet, in a place where those voices are tuned off, so that you can listen to yourself and what you want and what you know, because those are signals and you're starting to trust yourself. That place, that voice that has been there the whole time, now is becoming louder and louder, and you're reconnecting with it. And gap number 3, she shrunk to keep the pace. You take as much room and as much space as you know you need and deserve. This makes my heart smile. The old you, that version of you, shrunk and waited and used the space that you thought you were allowed to, that you were given permission to take. You waited for others to say it's okay, be here, or do that. Now you, the new you, takes as much room as you know you deserve. And guess what? The beauty of this whole thing is that every day is different. For some, might be, I don't want this. But many of us find the beauty of knowing that none of this happens on a schedule. There's no formal guide to tell us what happens after 50 and how we should grow into 50 plus women. It doesn't happen on a schedule. Sometimes we're fully hurt, immersed in this new way of going and being and doing, and sometimes we show up a little shy, a little less sure of ourselves. Most days, perhaps, we're both, depending on the conversation, depending on the scenario. That's not failure to reinvent. That's actually what reinvention is all about, and that is what raw reinvention looks like from the inside out. Being both versions, all versions of you, and allowing them to emerge as you're comfortable, based on what you want and what you need and where you are. It's all good, right? The idea is that we continue to grow, that we continue to take this space and to speak up and to put ourselves first, giving ourselves permission and grace to show up and to be there. Your micro interaction for this video is simple. Journal this evening, or grab a voice note on your phone or recorder, or maybe send an email to a friend that you may not have talked to in a long time and tell them about your transformation and reinvention journey. You may never know how you inspire somebody in your life to also step up and embrace this new version of ourselves that is still a little sprinkled with who we used to be, and we continue to show up some days a little bit more like her, a little bit more like you, and yet in a beautiful and a smart evolution. If this in-between stage of life feels a little disorienting, if any of those gaps that we talked about today resonated with you, I just want to remind you that you don't have to do it alone. We are all here. We are community. And moreover, I have a jumpstart guide that you can download right now that can help you start this journey with clarity and confidence, and full of micro interactions that will empower you to show up and to be whoever you want to be. And now, if you're ready to go further, I also want you to write in the comments section which of these gaps you have noticed the most, and how you're taking full advantage of this stage of life to say, yeah, I'm here. I'm taking the space that I need. I am myself, living authentically and unapologetically. I guess that's it for today. I do look forward to seeing you on the next video. This is Dr. Maria Martinez, saying goodbye for now. Take good care. See you soon.